Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as damsidoodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 9th of April, 2020, and this is episode 391. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. I don't have any opening remarks because, we've been living in quarantine for 57 years now. Well, ours got extended. Our stay-at-home mandate got extended to May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. You didn't say it.
And also with you.
So we're home together for more time. But anyway, well, we have a few things to tell you about today. And to show you, so we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on her needles.
So I have just one project on my needles right now.
Shh, don't tell him. They're the Dr. Hope's birthday socks.
They're from my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on Ravelry. It's my basic sock pattern that teaches you how to do toe-up and cuff down and photos for measurements and all that jazz. I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and you're going to have to look at my Ravelry page if you want to know the yarn because I'm using 9 different yarns. So, I'm knitting them concurrently on 9-inch circular needles. And you can see how different they look because so many of the colors are self-striping. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize I was going to have a whole huge chunk of red right there. That's 2 different yarns that butted up against each other. So this is the 8th color that I'm knitting with right now. It's also a self-striping or something. And then the 9th color will be this. And then we'll start over. And I measured them, I think it was yesterday, maybe. And I still needed about 1.5 inches before I do the heel. Mm-hmm. So I'm just doing 10 rows of each color. So I'm doing, I'm like 3 or 4 rows in on this one in this color, and then cut it, and then I do the same color for 10 rows, and I've been doing that every day. And I did move the project over to my bag that I showed y'all. I think this was last week, my Nerdbird Makery bag, because there was too many yarns to fit in the bag I was using. So this makes it easier, and I get to use my new bag. So that is the only thing that I am knitting on. Pink Pearl is doing something with the blinds.
She's eating her straw.
Oh, she's eating a straw. You spend money, you buy the cat toys, and what does she want to play with? A straw. Oh, now she's confused because the Dr. Hubs put a ball in the top of her ball toy. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I did finish one thing this week, so let's move on to the next segment, and I'll tell you about it.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
So this is my 14th preemie hat for 2020. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the Conch and Peabody colorway. I thought it looked kind of springy, the colors. That's a little truer to color. This is a little darker than what it's kind of showing. But preemie hat number 14 for the year, finished. That's the only thing I finished this week. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. Dammy, what are you working on?
I'm working on my Rapunzel cross stitch. So I've by Unique Door Sign on Etsy. So I've got the outline done. I finished Pascal. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to do the whites of the eyes in the B2500.
Mm-hmm. B5200.
Snow. It's because it's just the whites of their eyes and then the holes at the bottom of the dress.
Oh, like the lace kind of thing?
The petticoat. That's what it's called.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction. It's a TV show.
Yeah, so I've started on the main bit of the hair. There's a bright yellow, which is what I'm doing now, and then a darker yellow, but most of it is the bright yellow, so I've started on that.
Cool. You're making progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coolness. All right, well, I am only working on one thing still. I am working on the free pattern by Satsuma Street called Let's Stay Home. I can show you because it's free. If you go to her website, which I believe is like satsumastreet.com or something, you can get it. So, let's stay home.
Also, I broke my first needle this week. I don't know. I had been like doing this with it on my off time, and I guess it finally had enough because it snapped.
Shouldn't do that, Danny.
It calms me because I'm stressed.
I'm sorry that you're stressed. Okay, so here is where I'm at. So, the only thing I have left now is to do the yellow, like around the window here, and the yellow, there's a window here in the O, and there's some yellow for the outline, and then the green for the door and the rest of the house. So, look at that little kitty.
For a while, it was just a hole where ears should be.
Yes. But, so, I should be finishing this sometime soon, and this is still not, it still doesn't look right.
Pink's favorite part is the sun.
Yes, Mr. Sunshine.
What doesn't look right?
The yellow color doesn't look like right on the screen.
Oh, okay.
So, but I have been working on this exclusively for cross stitch, and so I should have it finished by next week's episode. So, and I'm still continuing to participate in Simi Sane Stitchers group on Facebook, which is a challenge type group for cross stitch. I'm doing the background certificates challenge, the mapping your literary journey challenge, and the Stitch or No Stitch, which is their version of Deal or No Deal. So, I am working on that.
Can you play Whose Stitch Is It Anyway?
No, but they are going to do...
Patterns from a Hat?
No, that's all from Whose Line Is It Anyway, in case you didn't know. They are in May going to do a Let's Make a Deal version. No, is that what it's called? Let's Make a Deal that had the whammies.
Let's make a deal.
They're going to do that in May, and I love that show so much.
Even more than Deal or No Deal?
Yes.
I vividly remember watching Deal or No Deal.
Yes. So I plan to play that. So, well, we do have some FlossTube content in Yummies, so stay tuned for the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things you like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies.
And I was losing my mind over that.
Do you like my new giant headband? It's not really a giant headband.
Now you have to sanitize that.
Why?
Because people have germs.
So, you must be saying, Cece, what is this? It's got kitties on it.
It is Pink's new,
Exercise.
No, it's her cummerbund.
To go with her bow tie. Okay, what this actually is...
It's a cummerbund.
Can I borrow your thing to show them?
Let me pull this through.
Although it's too big for Dammy's. So, it's called a grime guard. And
what it does is it makes it more difficult to hold my thing. It's just too big.
So, it goes around a Q-snap.
More snuggly than that.
And you can tuck your excess fabric in. And you must be saying, Cece, you use stitch in hand. You don't use a Q-snap. Why do you need
now
this?
You're going to blame me for doing stuff again. I didn't do anything.
It's Dammy's fault.
No.
So, there is this pattern called Edinburgh Castle.
Which is of, Will Chase, actually.
It is. No. And it is by, oh crud, I can't remember who's.
Someone on Etsy.
It's on Etsy. Hold on, I have it snoozed because I'll have to download the pattern. Where is
I don't want
it?
to buy her an Android tablet.
It is by Terra Luna Stitchery.
It's just so pretty. It's just like a springy day.
So it is Edinburgh Castle. It is ginormous. It's going to end up being like, it's like 3 feet by 2 feet. Full coverage. But
I didn't say do this for me or else.
you're not getting it until I die.
I know, that's why I said I didn't say do this for me or else.
It's also going to take until I'm 99 to get it done because it's
Why
massive.
don't I help you?
So it is a full coverage piece. It's massive, 63 colors. But I'm not going to be able to stitch that in hand because that's a lot of fabric.
It's going to be so fun.
So I consulted with my friend Erin, who's the 2 Martini Stitcher, on FlossTube and Instagram. And I bought an 11 by 11 Q-snap.
And this one is 6 by 6 for comparison.
So it's almost double that size.
Big boy.
So I've ordered it. I've ordered the fabric, which is gridded, so that it's like, I think it's 10 by 10 squares, so 100 stitches, to help you because it's full coverage. And I ordered the 63 floss colors. But I was like, I need to be able to, I have this extra fabric. So from Crab Shack Stitchery on Etsy, and actually she lives an hour away from us, and I had no clue.
Don't do that.
I ordered this, and it came already. The other stuff has not come yet, but I think it'll be here, hopefully, in time for next week's episode. But she sent a second one as a gift. So she sent this floral one.
Will you show them the crab, whether I was questioning whether or not it was okay? The crab, the cat.
Crab Shack Stitchery.
Will you show them the cat? I've done this twice today. I said my friend Hallie was going to run away with Donald when we went to Disney, but I said that Donald was going to run over her instead of run away with her.
So Dammy's questioning if... Wait, where'd it go?
My life.
It's...
This one right here. Is this one okay?
Yes.
Because just look at it.
So, Crab Shack Stitchery on Etsy.
Show me the crab.
The crab, I don't
Show me the crab where I was questioning its sanity.
Yes. So, Graham Guards, actually. So,
They're wonderful.
They're wonderful. Secondly, hopefully this stuff will be here by next week's episode. Secondly, Tyra, who is Raven Diva on Ravelry. She's Raven Diva something on Instagram. Contacted me and had accidentally purchased 2 copies of a pattern, and she asked if I was interested in the second copy. And I was like, of course. But she wrote me this sweet note. She says, "Your podcast is what got me stitching again." So this is by Michelle Bindi Stitchy. This is Hildy's Strawberry Patch. When Tyra contacted me to ask if I was interested in this, I had no idea that Michelle Bindi Stitchy was going to send me a copy of it as well. So the extra copy is going to go in, I think probably the summer.
That sounds fun.
The summer along as a prize. So, because summer.
Strawberries in summer.
Yes. So, I'm very excited to stitch this. I need to stitch this one and Hildy's Brew. The first and the third ones. But I'm going to be stitching it flat. I'm not going to make it into a strawberry. So, thank you so much, Tyra, for sending that and for your sweet note. And I'm looking forward to stitching it. So, do we have any other yummies, Dammy?
I'm having Sainsbury's tea. All you folks who live in the UK and can have Sainsbury's tea daily. Don't know how lucky you are.
She actually ordered tea from the UK.
Via Amazon. It was only $8 for the big pack of 160. And it's wonderful, and I love it. although they are loose in the box. So when I got it, there were little tea remnants everywhere.
Okay. Do we have anything else?
Pink is yummy.
Pink is very yummy. And there's going to be a cute...
And she's being very stubborn today.
There's going to be a cute video of her after the credits, as usual. This week was her second gotcha day, so 2 years since we adopted her. I think she is feeling the stress and the cabin fever that we're all feeling being inside, and so...
Speaking of cabin fever, we're going to solicit your opinion in the next segment.
Yes.
But first...
So, we've had Pink for 2 years now. It's hard to remember life without her.
I am purposefully ignoring you.
She is. She's actually looking outside. So, okay. Well, then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. And this month's theme is numbers.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. You can...
Just watch numbers every day, then you have something to take a picture of.
Numbers is such a good show. You can actually, use the numbers to inspire your picture, or it can be something like, today is the...
Too bad we don't have 310.
Oh, yeah. That's because that's the DMC color for black. Today is the 9th, and the whatever.
It is the 9th, and I gave my cat 9 kisses.
So, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked, and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody. Yay. So, it's never too late to join in. You take a picture inspired by the prompt. We're very cheater friendly on your interpretation. Post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad, because that's how we find your photo.
And you can also post things under GGK Kitty Pad, GGK Puppy Pad, GGK Birdie Pad, GGK Ferret Pad.
Oh, I don't know if we have that one, but
GGK
Huggy Pad, GGK Stitchy Pad.
I'm just talking about the pet ones.
Oh.
Only pets. Give me your pets.
So,
GGK Ratty Pad.
Is that really one?
No, but it's cute because rats are cute.
Okay.
Some rats are cute. Disney rats, except Remy, not cute. Like the one from Lady and the Tramp. That's just terrifying. But other rats are very cute.
If you have a private Instagram account and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to message Dammy's Doodles, and make sure she's following you, because otherwise we can't see your photos. And
I like you just skipped past over you thinking I've lost my mind.
You have.
I am very tired.
Me too. The insomnia. It was after 2 a.m. before I fell asleep. And then your photo might get chosen. Don't you love how we're like interspersing these things and I'm still going on with the talk? Okay, upcoming events. Sadly, because of the extension of the stay-at-home mandate, the Spring Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl has been canceled.
Sad but wise.
Yes. But they did announce the dates for the Fall Crawl, which will be October the 8th through the 11th. So, and then at this point, it's still scheduled for the Grazing Hills Fiberfest in Viola, Idaho, Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th of July. Their website is ghfiberfest.com, and I'll be teaching a continental knitting class on Saturday the 11th from 10 to noon.
Let's knock on wood.
All right. I think we are ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading?
I am officially reading something properly.
Okay.
Reading something properly. So my friends and I decided to do a book club. So we started with Hallie's favorite book, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I'd read this once before, but I didn't really understand it or get it or like it. And now with her commentary, it's just a wild ride.
Yes, it is a very wild ride.
I think going into it, I expected it to be a romantic story. It's not. Everyone's just very mean to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so after I get off work this afternoon, we have our first face-to-face book club meeting because we finished the first volume.
And how long is that? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've read it.
It was 14 chapters, but my version doesn't have it split up into volumes. It just keeps going after chapter 14, chapter 15. So, yeah, we finished half the book. Jane Eyre is much longer.
Yes.
And I haven't read any of Anne Bronte's stuff, so tell me if you prefer The Tenant of Wildfell Hall or Agnes Grey.
Okay. It's been a long time since I've read them. I don't remember.
Yeah. I've got a set of Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights, but Anne was not in it. And I'm also reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
I assume you're getting 15 minutes a day of reading in.
Yeah!
And classes start on Monday too, so
Yeah.
you'll be reading for that too. What am I referring to?
The April, May, June RAL read along.
So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading as long as you are reading.
That's horrible.
You are interrupting my speech about reading and how important it is.
Well, it is also important to stay hydrated.
That is true.
Boom. Got him.
Audiobooks do count for the RAL. There is a finish line thread in the Ravelry group where you post once and then edit your post. All the details about the RAL are in our show notes as well as in the Ravelry group. And by participating in the seasonal RALs, you earn entries into the year-long challenge where you will then be eligible to win one of 3 grand prizes at the beginning of 2021. Mm-hmm. If you participated in January, February, March, you should rewatch last week's episode or watch it if you haven't yet, because I have only heard from 2 of the winners.
That's so sad.
So,
also, this summer, I might be able to convince my friends to participate with me in Summer of Austen, but we might not read all of Austen's works.
okay.
So, maybe we'll focus on the lesser-known ones. I don't know. So, stay tuned!
That's what started the read-along. Was you doing...
Oh, yeah.
You doing Austen one summer.
That one good drawing I did of Jane.
You told us what chapters we had to read every day.
Ellie is telling us what chapters we have to read every day. Because she's like, how many pages do you think you'll read a day? And I'm like, she's like, 10, 30, 50, 100. I'm like, 30?
She'd say, I will read 15 minutes a day because that's what my mama tells me I have to read.
No.
You can read more than 15 minutes a day. It's okay. I do. Okay, what I'm reading. I am continuing my reread of the Harry Potter series in book number 5, The Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. I'm rereading that along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. And this week, well, Swish and Flick did the Sorting Hat's new song over 2 weeks. But I caught up because remember I didn't last week, and so now I'm caught up. So we're good to go. I finished listening to book number 5 of the Charlie Davidson series by Dorinda Jones. This is a private investigator series, but the private investigator is the Grim Reaper. And there is adult content. I finished reading books 1 and 2 of the Lucy Kincaid series by Allison Brennan. This is another private investigator FBI series.
You should be very flattered that Pink is using your chair to take a bath.
I feel very flattered. So I have just started that series. I've read the first 2 books. How would you say the next title?
I don't know what you just said.
This one right here is what I'm
Okay.
asking about.
Elle Revolte.
By Lindsay Miller. It's a standalone, and it is it's a YA, and it's about 2 girls,
Watch out.
2 girl or young women who switch places,
Freaky Friday.
but they're studying magic and all this, and then there's a war, and it was very intense. Pink Pearl, don't even think about it. That is not for you.
It was very funny.
She's investigating my craft cart. She weighs too much. She cannot get in. I finished reading book number 49 of the In Death series by J.D. Robb, which is a criminal series. Hi, Pink. Set in the future. Pink.
She's gonna. Oh no, she's gonna. Don't you come near my tea, you little goblin. Lay down.
So I'm waiting for book number 50. It's called like Golden in Death or something.
Are they running out of puns to make out of in death?
I don't know. They've come up with 50 of them. So, I read book number 1 in the Final 6 series by Alexandra Monier. I actually read this entire book last night. It was so good, and I'm so angry that I have to wait so long for the next book because there's holds on it at the library.
She's got her butt in my
Would you like to know what the series
No!
is?
Get out! Get away from there! Go! Go! Go!
She's not allowed back there.
She can get on the table if she wants. I don't care. But she was sniffing your fabric, and I didn't want her to go into the recesses.
Dammy, don't go behind the table. How many times have I told you? Do not go inside my fabric bag.
Sometimes you make me to get your stuff.
I do. Dammy, don't sit in my fabric bag.
Well, sometimes I want to.
Well, you're being very stubborn. Do I need to get the spray bottle and spray you
Where
with
did
water?
I get that from?
Do you need to be sprayed with water? The Final 6. I want to tell you about the series because it's so good. I read the first book entirely, the entirety of it last night. It was so good. So, the Earth is in trouble.
Of course it is.
Because we have destroyed our environment, and there are massive tsunamis and earthquakes and such. Like Rome is gone.
All of Rome.
All of Rome. Well, I mean, like they are like in the top floors of buildings.
Do you mean Rome? Do you mean all of Rome, the city, or do you mean Italy?
Well, this one kid is from Rome, I believe. Anyway, a lot of the world is gone because of tsunamis and earthquakes. So the world leaders decide that they are going to send 16 to 19-year-olds into space to one of Jupiter's moons called Europa.
Isn't this a TV show you watched?
No, called Europa. To build a colony so that they can, so that the Earth can move. The people of the Earth can move. And so,
yeah, you're gonna send the teenagers to do stuff. That's gonna work out so well for you.
Well, there was reasoning behind why. I don't remember all the reasoning. But anyway, so the first book is they have narrowed it down to 24 youth who are then sent to the Space Center in Houston because they've built these massive walls to protect the Space Center from the tsunami.
I mean, it's very near the water.
It is very near the water.
It smells like salt all the time.
And then they go through this training, and they're going to get narrowed down to the final 6. And so they got narrowed down to the final 6. One of the kids, who is the nephew of the president, had my maiden name spelled correctly. He's a real jerk.
Oh.
Spoiler.
Well, what would you expect?
Because
of someone related.
They call him the first nephew.
That's so pretentious.
And he is. He's a real jerk. And then there's a second book in the series that I'm on the hold list. And I feel like I have to wait 27 years for it. It's called... I don't have to wait 27 years for it, but I have to wait a little while. The second book is called The Life Below. I have to wait 4 weeks.
Oh, no.
I'm number 7 in line of 3 copies in use.
So wait, is this a ebook copy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
You can read a sample.
I don't want to read a sample. I want to read the whole thing. So this week, if you are in my area, somebody told us in our knitting group. So our area library is the Kitsap Regional Library System, but apparently they have an agreement with the Pierce County Library System where you can get a library card from them too. And so now I can get books in my Libby app from both systems.
That's wonderful.
It is, because some books our system doesn't have, and some books...
This is a kind of small county.
It is a small county. And some books, like, there's not as long of a wait on or whatever. So I am ready for the second one. But it sounded like it had been, like, optioned for a movie. And I'm wondering if it had actually became a movie, or if it didn't. I'm trying to look up the author on Wikipedia.
You should have done this before.
I know, sorry. Alexandra Monier. I don't think she's on here. No. Anyway, so it would be a really interesting movie, though, if they did it. So, and then I started reading the 6th book in the Villain series by Serena Valentino, The Odd Sisters, A Tale of the Three Witches. So I started reading that one after I finished the final 6 last night. This morning. Very early hours of the morning when I had insomnia. That is what I've been reading. Watching. Do you want to talk about the first thing? The movie?
What is it? Oh, sure. We watched Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. We didn't think it would be the movie. We thought it would be a stage production of it. Because Andrew Lloyd Webber, with whatever rights he's making a deal with, is putting up some of his shows, some recordings of his shows for limited time viewing.
Yes, so it is. It's on YouTube, and it's under
The Show Must Go On, or something.
The Shows Must Go On is the name of the channel, and so it was the Donny Osmond version. It's off now because it was only on for 72 hours, I think.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ Superstar, the full stage show
With Tim Minchin.
is
So this is actually a concert.
is going to be up tomorrow. Today, if you're watching this the day the episode goes live.
And then NBC, I think, is re-airing the John Legend and Brandon Victor Dixon and Sarah Bareilles one.
Oh, I love Sarah Bareilles. So that'll go up, and it'll be up for 72 hours. And then I'm not sure what the next one is. They haven't announced it yet, I don't think.
Love never dies. Cats.
Seriously.
Sometimes he's got some good stuff. Often he's got really far misses. Like Starlight Express.
Okay, other movies that
I'm sorry if you like Starlight Express.
Other movies that I watched this week, I still cannot get into the regular Hallmark movies that are on right now, but I've been watching the mystery ones, so I've caught up. So I watched Mystery 101 and Education in Murder and Ruby Herring Mysteries Prediction Murder.
Oh.
I started a new series to me. Oh, I don't think I'd started watching this last week. I don't think I had. Shakespeare and Hathaway. I'm watching series 1. It is they're private investigators in Stratford upon Avon.
Stratford on Avon.
On Avon. And there are so many Shakespeare references in the show. It's present day is when it's set. And I think series 3 aired earlier this year, and it's been renewed for series 4. So I've got one episode left in series 1. We are rewatching Frasier. We finished season 2 and we're into season 3 now. Do you want to talk about the next thing?
Yeah, Cabin Fever. So another episode came out now.
Tell them what it is in case they don't know.
Oh, John Finnemore, who wrote Cabin Pressure, which I'm listening to every week, which was a BBC 4 radio drama, is
Comedy.
Radio comedy. Sometimes
There
it was
a
a
lot
drama.
of drama.
Sometimes. He is putting out videos on his YouTube channel under the premise that Arthur is in quarantine. And he's just doing a bunch of fun stuff.
So they were coming out every 2 days, but now they're coming out every 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a new one this morning.
Yes. So, do you have any puddings, desserts, that would look like main courses? Or main courses that would look like puddings?
So he made
He made
meal.
fish and chips and peas and an egg. But the fish were frozen yogurt?
I think so.
Frozen yogurt with cake crumbs. The peas were green Skittles. The chips were fried apple with strawberry jam. And the egg was an apricot and yogurt.
Yes. And he had made main course 2 that looked like pudding, but I can't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm. Beans on toast.
So
do you have any fun little food?
Things that you can make to look like that are actually
What they're not.
Yeah. We're watching season 3 of The Masked Singer. We have an episode to watch tonight.
Oh no.
I'm watching season 7 of The Blacklist. Watching season 1 of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Such a good show. I love it so much. It's my new favorite. I kind of want to binge it again from the beginning because I love it so much. I'm watching season 7 of When Calls the Heart. We're watching season 15 of Whose Line Is It Anyway? We love Wayne Brady and when he does the musical numbers. That show cracks us up. We used to watch it when it was on originally. Oh, it's such a good show. And the show that I will be talking about for the final time today because the series finale aired.
Oh dear.
SCHITT''S, Creek. As soon as the episode started, I started sobbing. And I cried through the entire episode. And then they had a special, kind of
retrospective.
Yeah, kind of documentary retrospective of the final season. I didn't realize. So Eugene Levy is the father who created it, but he also played the father. And Daniel Levy, his son, is the co-creator who also played the son. But Sarah, I believe is her name, Sarah Levy, is the daughter. So Eugene's daughter and Daniel's sister, and she played Twyla, the lady in the cafe, the waitress in the cafe. And I had no clue. I didn't realize that she was related to them as well.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I cried through the entire final episode, the wedding, and all that. And then the whole retrospective, I just cried and cried and cried. It was such a good show. I loved it so much. I'm sad it's over. But they chose when they wanted to stop it, and it went out on their terms. And it was very good. Listening to my favorite murder podcast. The episode this morning was a live show from, I think it was 2018. And they were talking about, one of the things they talked about was this town had created a lake by, like, flooding an area, like, that had houses and buildings and stuff. So, like, there's stuff is still under the water. My nose is itching, sorry, y'all. But there was murder, obviously.
In the lake.
There was murder around that area. So, I'm listening to my CC's Faves Spotify playlist. What are you listening to?
Cabin Pressure random Spotify playlists and my Songs of Resilience playlist, which is linked in the show notes.
That's right. Well, that is everything. It was so interesting that I'm yawning. No, insomnia. That's everything that we're reading, watching, and listening to, so I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl.
Bah.
Yes. So this started on the 1st of March, and it runs through the 31st of May. And it's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to spring. If you can't think of anything, you made it in the spring, or it puts a spring in your step. I don't know. There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project has to have been begun no earlier than the 1st of March, then finished no later than the 31st of May. And then each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If it's not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post, because posts are your entries, together with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. For stitching and sewing projects, we leave it up to your best judgment. Feel free to polydip in other longs as long as it fits in with other rules. That's totally fine. We have wonderful prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our prize donors. If you'd like to get closer looks at these prizes, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsnet.com. If you're interested in donating a prize, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsnet@gmail.com. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you want to post on social media or tag your projects. It's GGK CS Spring 20. The FO thread is going to be locked in the morning of the 1st of June, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize or they forfeit it. There's a chatter thread where you can chatter about your projects.
Ask questions.
And it's where I congratulate people who finish projects, but I also do that here. So, A. Bingham, D. Dorf 4, DG White, DJ ID, I Now Hour, Joe Didia, Lil Angel SG2, Al McCall, Lil Mermaid, Mamma Mia 64, Meditative Crafter, and Travel Socks.
Great job, everybody. Keep working on your projects. You've got about 7 weeks to finish them and get them posted, and you might be a prize winner. If you participated in the Winter Wonderland Owl, we have one person we haven't heard from. So, you should go watch that episode. That was the first episode of April. Was that last week?
That was last week.
No, the first episode of March.
Oh, yeah. That was a whole month ago.
So, your deadline's coming up. Chop, chop. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, so what is this week's question?
This week's question was originally asked and answered in 2014. It is from Amy, who is MLA Love 1718 from Ohio. What is your favorite musical and favorite music group? You answer first, because I asked.
I really wish I had gone back and seen who we had, what we answered.
I probably said him.
You probably did. Okay, let's start with favorite musical. Favorite musical, there's so many.
All right, yes.
White Christmas. Hadestown, Sound of Music, Hamilton. Those are probably my top 4.
Cool.
What about you?
Oh, I have to think of 4 now.
You don't have to. That's just what came into my head.
Probably Great Comet and Les Mis.
And Hadestown, as you're wearing the shirt.
Yes.
Well, you're wearing the shirt. That's why I said something. Okay. Favorite music group? Does it have to be a group, or can it just be favorite musician? Okay, well, we're gonna make that. So, Christine Nockels, she and her husband used to be the group Watermark, and she records on her own now. Christine Nockels, Michael Bublé, Josh Groban, Sarah Bareilles, Norah Jones, Adele, Civil Wars. Those are probably, if you go to my CC's Faves playlist, you probably see most of those.
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably my top few. What about you?
I don't know.
You listen to a lot of theater music.
Yeah. I don't know.
What is your favorite soundtrack?
Soundtrack?
Like musical soundtrack. Broadway soundtrack.
Well, I just said one of them, Great Comet.
Yeah.
Just the effort and artistry that went into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm poking myself with my needle.
Well, you should stop that. Yeah. You listen to a lot of Broadway.
Yeah.
How
How about a favorite singer? Broadway singer. I thought I had this, and then I didn't.
One of mine would be Megan Hildy. Is that how you say her name? Hilty. I like her a lot.
Sutton Foster.
Oh, I love Sutton Foster.
Barbara Streisand.
She's amazing. We love theater music.
I felt like I had something. I don't remember what it is now.
My stomach is talking to me.
You want a shake from Arby's?
That was so good, but I don't know that I would want it that big a one. Russ and Dammy had to go to
Arby's.
No, you had to go get so we've lived in this flat for over 2 years now, and one of the lights in our kitchen finally went out, and they're fluorescent bulbs, and so they had to go to the store to get
And so they go
bulbs.
out right now.
Yeah, seriously. So they stopped and got shakes and mozzarella sticks for us from Arby's. They had a Jamocha shake, so a coffee and
Java mocha.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
coffee and mocha. So it was really good.
I want one.
So, thank you so much, Amy, for asking this question back in 2014, and we're happy to answer it again. Dammy.
Half a decade later.
Yes.
Makes you think.
We're out of questions, which is why we are re-answering some questions. That's why we're re-answering questions. So, Dammy, what should people do so that we have new questions to answer?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
Or you can post it in the comments on YouTube for this video, and we'll copy and paste it over and answer it.
Yes.
There's not been a single question we have not been willing to answer already at all. So, feel free to ask us anything. If we're uncomfortable, we'll tell you. Okay. Let's move on to the next segment. We made it to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Stay tuned after the credits for a
Pinky.
Pinky video.
A pearly.
Um,
A stinky, stinky girly.
She is. A
In
reminder.
more ways than one.
A reminder that Trish of Threads Entwined is offering a coupon code for our viewers, 15% off through the end of May 2020. The coupon code is all lowercase, Geeky15, Geeky15. There's a link in the show notes to get to her website. Thank you again for that coupon code. Do we have any other announcements?
Stay inside. Don't have meetups with your friends, even though you want to.
I don't think our neighbors understand social distancing, which is frustrating.
Well, I saw someone with a little baby who lives here, was having a friend deliver groceries to them. So that's wise.
That is wise.
Or like a family member, I don't know.
Yeah.
What happened here? What are you?
It's weird.
I think this is like spit spliced.
It looks like it looks like it was knotted. It's not spit slice, it's knotted.
Ah, such quality floss.
No, I forgot what we were talking about.
Staying inside.
Stay inside. Social distancing. Okay, we'd like to say a humongous thank you. We love you guys. To everyone who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you support us, we are appreciative of you and your continued viewing, and we're coming up on our 400th episode and 8 years of doing this this summer. So, thank you for those of you who've been with us since the beginning, and those of you who are brand new today, and everybody in between. If you would like to financially support the podcast, because it does cost money to do a podcast, there's lots of behind-the-scenes costs. There are 3 ways you could do that. The main way is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on what level you donate at. Mm-hmm. We just redid the rewards a few weeks ago. We'll be having our first virtual knitting slash stitching hour with our $10 and $15 level patrons later in the month. I have been doing weekly vlogs for our $15 Patreon supporters. And there's all kinds of other great things you can earn by supporting the podcast. I sent out rewards earlier this week. So, Dammy, if somebody would like more information about this or would like to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What is another way?
Here, can you give me 2 strands while I talk about it? There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our website first, and in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, there are links and images to the 3 different Amazons. Click on your appropriate one, do your shopping as normal, and we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. There.
What on earth?
That's 2.
What happened there?
Nothing happened there. It just, one strand was loose.
Well, I need my thread magic now. It's in my room.
So, and again, thank you to those of you who support the podcast financially. We really do appreciate it.
No, they're not.
Oh.
Do you make this?
I did not make a knot, no. Why don't you tell them where they can find us online, and then we'll deal with your knot after we're done recording.
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We encourage you to please stay inside, social distancing. If you have to be...
We strongly urge.
If you have to be out, wear a mask. Yeah, just make wise choices so that we can continue to flatten this curve and be able to get back to life as normal as soon as possible. So, we wish you happy crafting, and again, encourage you to check on your family and friends, make use of the great technology that we have to send texts, do video chatting, phone calls. Even though I hate phone calls, you can even do that. Yeah. And until next time, happy crafting, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
What's it doing, Pink Pearl? Is it nap time? Oh, is it gonna be a baby bunny? I'm gonna go hippity hoppity. It's Easter almost. Are you being the bunny? Hippity hoppity, pinky pull. Hippity hippity hop. Hippity hoppity, pinky pull. Hippity hippity hop. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute.